What's going on, Gainsters? Welcome back to the podcast. It's been a hot minute since we've recorded an episode, mainly because I was gone in California and then South Africa at the beginning of the year, and it's just taken a while to get back into it. But that ends today with this one. I posted a Q&A up on the Main Gains Instagram, and we got a few questions, so we're going to answer those. But let's give a quick little life update for you all, since it's the summer, and because I haven't seen you. We haven't seen you and talked to you in so long. Zoe, what's new with you?
I am working in the industrial setting for the summer, which means I am working with an electrical company. So I'm working with linemen, substations people, meter readers, just office workers.
Picture the classic blue-collar worker and then Zoe leading them through a morning stretch at like 7 a.m.
Every day,
Just-
time to stretch.
Just picture that in your mind, and that's mainly what Zoe does.
Yep, and then my role is technically early intervention specialist, so I can help identify porta potty mechanics. They can ask me about work-related or non-work-related injuries, and yeah, I get to just be an athletic trainer for the trades, which is interesting. So I'll do that right up until August 16th, and then preseason will begin here at the high school on the 19th. And in between all that, I'm still working on schoolwork, so...
Yeah, Zoe's still in grad school. Almost done, though.
Kind of. I mean, I graduate in May.
She's at the halfway point. A little over the halfway point.
Yep.
And then,
I'm a senior.
life update for me, back from Rhinos. Obviously, the WPL season has started. I've been named to the USA player pool, so that was very exciting for me, and a sign that's just like, it wasn't all for nothing. And I know that in my head I can kind of decide if the Rhinos was worth it regardless on if I like made it to the next level, but now that even gives me just like more reassurance. So
Yeah, and Rhinos was worth it because you met some really cool people.
yeah, and I made some really good friends.
And you get to see those friends this
Yeah,
weekend.
I get to see two of them this weekend because they play for Life West. So we will laugh and smile before, maybe, mainly after, and then during the game it's
You're down to business.
down to business. Gonna be talking a lot of trash. And that's kind of it right now.
Mhm.
Training is going decent. Yeah, I'm in a funk right now, training-wise. Got this stupid, like, hip pointer that I got last weekend, but, yeah, you just gotta keep on keeping on. Sometimes training just is training.
Yeah, I mean, it's also tough because you're coming off of a 4-week rugby hiatus.
Yeah, the WPL does this dumb thing where we take a mini break in the middle of the season. So we're going to have 5 weeks of games in a row. No bye week. That's going to be crazy.
Mad dash right to the end.
Yeah. But that's our update. So let's get into the questions. Zoe, what is question number 1?
Question number 1. My knees hurt when I'm squatting. How do I fix it?
So your knees hurt when you're squatting. How to fix? I guess it kind of depends on where your knee hurts and at what point of the squat that it hurts. Why are you looking at me like that?
Just got your athletic trainer cap on.
Yeah, I do. And then you can give your 2 cents. Normally, I know who sent this in, and usually with high school boys, if their knees are hurting, they're talking about their patella, and it's in the squat. It's once they hit a certain depth in the squat, and my first gut instinct is that you are just weak in your quads, and so your tendon is kind of taking over, and the tendon was made to... Can you hold that? The tendon was kind of made to slide and groove, so if you're watching, it's just nice and sequential, I guess is a good word for it. And when you're starting to get tendon pain, your tendon is not so smooth and like sliding, and so it's all junked up because it's taking over the load from the quads. So the biggest thing is kind of not necessarily stop squatting, but stop squatting to the depth that it causes pain. And if the whole movement causes pain, like, yeah, you might have to stop squatting for now. And implementing lunge isometrics and like single leg quad extensions and isometric quad extensions are probably going to be your best bet.
I would also add to the argument that maybe it's not just your quads that are tight or weak. It could also be your glutes.
Mm-hmm.
So if your glutes are underactive, that's putting a lot of strain into your quad, which is putting a lot of strain into the tendon. Because I don't think a lot of people know that your quad tendon actually like engulfs your patella and like inserts right at the base of, or I guess depends on which way you're looking at it, right below your kneecap or at the top of your shin. I would also say something you could do without like evaluating you, because I think this is a very like generic question but a very deep question. Like there are a lot of layers as to get down to like the root cause of why. But like foam rolling, stretching,
love foam rolling,
just getting it nice and loose. But I think foam rolling your total leg, give love to your groin, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, your calf, the soft muscly part of your shin. Go for it.
A lot inserts at the knee, and so just kind of taking care of the soft tissue around it is going to help. So take care of the soft tissue around your knee and strengthen your quads and your glutes, and hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
Next question. Ding, 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 ding.
Jenny, why did you want to become a rugby player?
Why did I want to become a rugby player? I learned about it actually when I was a freshman at UVM and my first semester, and I almost joined the team there, but I was too scared because I didn't know anyone. And then when we were at the University of New England, we walked by a table and it was the rugby club team. They were like, come play rugby. And we just kind of looked at each other and we were like, that kind of sounds fun.
Yeah, it was like us and our group of friends. We're like, yeah, let's just all go to the tryout.
Yeah, like none of us were playing. It wasn't even a tryout. Like at a certain point, especially when it's club, there are no real tryouts. They'll take kind of anyone. And none of us were playing a sport in college, and we had all played sports in high school, and I certainly was looking to scratch that competitive itch, and as soon as we went, it was just so much fun, and I never looked back.
Yeah, when you hit the bag the first time,
yeah,
you're just like, whoa.
I feel like you either have one or two reactions when you first play rugby. It's like you either make a tackle or like get hit and you're just like, wow, like this is intense and I love it, or you get rocked and you certainly say like, this is not for me. You like don't enjoy that aggressive aspect of sport, and I personally love that.
But I think also, like, I think one of the things that kept us with rugby, too, is just, like, the community surrounding rugby, in a way. Like, we're all, like, brutal on the field, like, smacking the crap out of each other, like, whatever. But then, like, after the game, you get together and just have, like, a bunch of food and just chit-chat, and you get to just be humans, and it's just, like, you're all, like, battered and bruised, and, like, oh, my God, like this. But it's, like, a mutual, like, hurt, but you're all having fun, like, with the other team as well, win or lose.
Yeah, the post-game socials are always fun. Some are a little more tense and a little awkward than others, depending on how the game went, but it was always something to look forward to, no matter the outcome. I mean, even when no one loves to lose, especially I hate to lose, but even after a loss, it was kind of nice because I would able to, like, sulk for a few minutes and then be like, okay, it's time to, like, compartmentalize, because I do have friends on the other team and they won that day, and so it was good to hang out with them and still to this day do that. But I personally stuck with rugby tried it because I was looking to scratch that competitive itch, and rugby did that for me, and I was pretty good at it, and then I've just kept getting better because I liked it, and so then I just got better and better and better, and now I'm here.
Yeah, same. And I think another really fun thing about rugby is that every game you do a player of the match, a back of the match, and a forward of a match. Both teams do it for your own team and the other team.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a good way to kind of like highlight.
Yeah, there's just a lot of layers to it, and it's different than any other sport.
Rugby is the best sport in the world. It's beautiful.
It is. And it's just like, I don't know, and because it's the same rules for the guys and the girls, I guess for some reason to me that just is so much more enticing than a lot of sports, how they are like technically the same, but they're such different games because of certain rules. Mm-hmm. And it's just not that way.
And I think I also really, really like rugby because, like, unlike any other sport that I played, really, like, you just, like, grind for
80 minutes.
80 minutes.
80
and,
plus
like,
minutes. No timeouts.
There are some stoppages in play, obviously, when, like, the scrum is happening and, like, whatever, but, like, it's never, like, a complete stop.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting ready for the next play, like, it's still moving. Like, if you're in the backpack, like, you're getting ready, you're looking at the other team, you're getting ready for the ball to come out. And there's never, like, a dead stop. Like, in football, there's a whistle every 2 seconds, and then it's a reset, and then you're standing around. But rugby, you just go, 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 go. Mm-hmm. And you play while someone's injured on the field. You just wait until you get too close, then it stops, and then there's a stoppage of play. But
it's just crazy.
It's just insane.
Unlike
awesome.
anything. I highly recommend everyone play rugby, or at least try it, just because it's fun. Especially, Brady, I'm just going to call you out because you asked this question. You would probably love rugby, and you'd do really well at it.
1,000%.
Next question.
Jenny, I perform well in practice, but I choke in games. That's all it says.
Oh, great. You perform well in practice, but you choke in games. Your practices aren't hard enough, and you're not challenging yourself enough in your practice settings, because if you really were like as good as you think you are or say that you are, you wouldn't be choking in games, because you would feel confident in those settings and you would know what to do under pressure. So you need to create that pressure for yourself in practice.
I think also it's less, I mean, it is, but at the same time, not necessarily looking at like the skill of like the person in practice. Like maybe they aren't pushing themselves hard enough and whatever, but it's also like that mental component of sport too. Like think like visualizing like scenarios in a game and how you might respond to those, and like maybe take a look deeper into like why you might not be performing well. Like, are you getting really anxious before a game and you're not eating a lot of food and then you're not playing well? Are you over analyzing, like, I need to take a layup right now, and then you're just like banking it off the backboard? Like, just like think like internally like, what's going on, and maybe like walk through different situations and like your routines and stuff. So I would say like look like holistically too.
I'm just gonna argue with you a little bit, because isn't that exactly what I just said though? Like,
you were like, practices aren't hard enough.
Well, yeah, because it's not, like, you're not challenging yourself. So if you're overthinking something in a game, if you're overthinking, that's because you haven't been exposed to that situation, that environment enough to make it second nature. Does that make sense?
I'm saying on top of that, like, on your bus ride to the game, like, sit and like think like, okay, if this corner kick is called, like this is what I'm going to do, and this is where my position is going to go, and this is what my job is.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? I'm saying it's like building off of it and like mentally, like imagery, like putting yourself into those situations and like walking through. Like,
I can get behind that.
Like maybe your practices aren't. Yeah. Maybe your practices aren't hard enough, and you do need to push yourself harder. Mm-hmm. Because like realistically, like you're getting more exposure in practices, like. Prepare yourself.
Like you should be messing up in practice. There are certain practices where you don't want, you're trying to hone in and like not mess up, but practices should be a place for you to try new things and get comfortable with certain movements that maybe you aren't comfortable with, and like you should be failing in practice. That way you don't fail in the games. You're
failing in like a safe environment.
Yeah. In a way that you can learn from, versus being penalized from which you would in a game.
But I think this also comes, I think you can take so many different, like, approaches to this, too. But I feel like you can be, like, your self-advocate and hold your teammates accountable, too. Be like, you're not pushing me hard enough.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to push myself harder. Like, attack me harder. Like, if you're, I don't know, I'm jumping around from sport to sport to sport, but, like, if you're playing basketball and, like, Jenny's not boxing me out at all, and I'm just going around her and getting the rebound every time, like, girl, put your butt into me and box me out. Like, make me work for it. Like, you know what I mean?
It's so true, because if you're, like, you need to challenge your teammates, not only for, like, your benefit, but for their benefit. So if you're taking it easy, you are making them worse. Not worse, but you're not helping them get better.
And I think this just comes from everybody on the team. Like, you're advocating for yourself and, like, you want to be better and, like, get your teammates better and stuff, too. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, you don't have to go to, like, a captain and be like, hey, like, can you tell our team to, like, whatever? Like, just talk to your teammates. Tell them.
Yeah.
You can be a leader even if you're not a captain.
That's a sign of a high-level team, is if you are pushing each other. Don't be screaming at each other. And there's times when you aren't supposed to be going 100%, but even when you're doing things at 60%, you can still make it difficult for yourself and for others based on the positions that you get in and how you apply pressure. So, yeah, definitely challenge yourself a little bit more. That way things become second nature. And like Zoe said, you can visualize and, like, imagine what you're going to do in certain situations. That way when it happens, it just happens and you don't overthink it. What do we got? One more?
Yeah, this is just a for fun question.
Okay, let's rip it.
Who is the better Brady? Kate Brady or Yarmouth Brady? Tom Brady. I'm just kidding.
Who's the better Brady? I can't say.
I don't have favorites.
I do, but I can't say. Like, even I work for Yarmouth. We literally have, if you're watching this, like, a Yarmouth flag in the background. It's obviously Yarmouth Brady. It can't be Kate Brady.
Especially if you're in Yarmouth.
It's like, come on, I can't say that a Cape student, a Cape athlete, is the better one, my favorite. No way, man.
Kate Brady is pretty cool.
Doesn't mean that you're not cool. But you also haven't been in the weight room for a few weeks, so losing points on that.
Well, Brady just took the last 2 days off, so.
That's true. Yarmouth Brady just skipped the past 2 workouts, and he's gonna skip the next one because of this 5-mile race on Saturday.
He better win.
Brady, if you're listening to this, you better set a PR. You better win your age group and be flying out on that course. But yeah, short and sweet. Nice little Q&A to get back into the swing of things. And I don't know how often we're going to be posting these podcasts. I'm at least going to do one a month because I do want to provide this type of value for you guys, whether it's Zoe and I just kind of chatting, talking about our training and life and stuff like that, answering some of your questions, having guests back on. Plan to do that more, but that's the Potter. And you got anything else?
Make sure you follow Jenny on social media because she's posting lots of really good ice cream reviews this summer.
Oh yeah.
And she posts really great content. So where can they find you, Jenny?
At maine.gaines, MAINE.GAYNZ.
GAYNZ.
I said I.
I thought you said Y.
No. Maine Gains. And at _Gainster on Instagram and on TikTok. I post some pretty fun TikToks.
Mm-hmm.
And then follow me on YouTube. Lots of good YouTube videos.
Do they like, comment, and subscribe on these?
I don't think they like, comment, subscribe on podcasts, but you can leave a 5-star rating and review and share it with someone who you think could benefit from listening.
Before we go, show them your new tattoo.
I got a new tattoo. It's this little, if you're watching it, it's on my bicep. This little marshmallow man. And then I always struggle to show.
There you go.
And then I have a lightning bolt behind my ear because when I was in California, my GPS tracked me at 18.01 miles an hour, and I made a deal with myself that once I crossed the 18 threshold that I would get a lightning bolt tattoo. And so when I was in South Africa, I got both of them. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it. Thank you for listening.
Bye.